The Duke of Edinburgh and I look forward to our visit to Canada in June and to our visit to the United Nations in New York in July. We also look forward to receiving His Holiness Pope Benedict XVI in September. My government will seek effective global collaboration to sustain economic recovery and to combat climate change, including at the Climate Change Conference in Mexico later this year. My government will fully support our courageous armed forces and undertake a full strategic defence and security review. My government will work with the Afghan government, Pakistan, and international partners for lasting security and stability in Afghanistan. My government looks forward to an enhanced partnership with India. In the Middle East, my government will continue to work for a two-state solution that sees a viable Palestinian state existing in peace and security alongside Israel. My government will work to reduce the threat from nuclear weapons and nuclear proliferation, including the serious international concerns posed by Iran's nuclear program. My government is committed to spend 0.7% of gross national income in development aid from 2013. Other measures will be laid before you. My Lords and members of the House of Commons, I pray that the blessing of Almighty God may rest upon your councils.
Everyone stands in the House of Lords now that the Queen has completed the delivery of the speech, and the Queen and the Duke make their way through the Prince's chamber and then back into the Royal Gallery to retrace the steps of just a few minutes ago. And that is the signal for the members of the House of Commons to make their way back to their chamber and to prepare for 5 days of debate there on the content of the Queen's speech. A Queen's speech, by the way, which lays out plans for probably a good 18 months. Now that this state opening has happened after the election, we don't expect another Queen's speech until November of next year. The processions have started in the Royal Gallery. The maces leading the way, and the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh making their way back to the robing room at the extreme end of the Palace of Westminster, overlooking the Victoria Gardens. Several interesting points there in the speech, not least the visit of the Queen to the United Nations in July, and we can discuss some of those points in just a few minutes' time. David Cameron and Harriet Harman busily chatting as they return to the House of Commons. we can expect a fairly lively debate, at least in the opening sessions when that starts. It's always an interesting moment in terms of debate in the House of Commons, the debate on the Queen's speech. Hilary Benn, Alistair Darling, Philip Hammond, David Lammy, Ed Balls, Theresa May, the new Home Secretary, Andrew Lansley. So they've... And David Laws there, the new Chief Secretary to the Treasury. So they're all spread out, really. You expect the Cabinet to be right at the start of the queue, but they're not. They're all fairly spread out and taking their time to go back. But there we are. The Speaker and the Sergeant-at-Arms are formally welcomed back into the chamber. Nothing can happen without the mace being set in its place near the dispatch box. That's the symbol of the authority of the Speaker, and that means that the House can be in session. It's on display there. It means that the House can formally be in session. And on cue, the royal party ready to leave the white wand of the Marquis of Cholmondeley, leading the way. Baroness Hayman, Lord Chancellor, having a word with the Queen, and a little exchange there about the contents of the purse. Wonder if she's giving her views on that, Nick. I rather doubt it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Next time, check it.
And the Duke, of course, having a good look inside. Saying, what if it wasn't there, Ken? What would you do then? Sir George Young. And back in the direction of the Norman staircase, down to the Norman porch and to the base of that Victoria Tower, where the Royal Standard is still, of course, flying, but that will be lowered when the Queen leaves, and the Union flag, the Union Jack, will then be raised in its place. The heralds taking their place on the steps, ready for the Queen's departure. State trumpeters have signalled that the Queen is about to leave the Palace of Westminster after this state opening of 2010, and Queen and the Duke on their way back to Buckingham Palace. Once the signal is given, coachman will be on his way. And just to prove the point that we have the best vantage point in town, and therefore you have too, let's have a look.
as the Queen returns to Buckingham Palace. Our thanks to Hugh Edwards and his panel of guests for bringing us the state opening of the new Parliament here.